Well, it's a fine day. It's December 14th, and home from work here this afternoon. I'm gonna shoot my flintlock a little bit. Offhand practice. Killed 2 deer with it in the rifle season. 2 doe. Shot 1 in the early season, so I got 3 with the 45 now. So didn't bother filming. Not in the rifle season. Too much going on. Too few chances to shoot a deer to mess with filming. Might film in the late season. See. I'm gonna do a video here today, mainly cleaning my gun, but I figured might as well get a little footage of shooting first, and then I'll show you my process and how I clean my flintlock when I'm done shooting. Just come high and right. A little bit to the right. That would be a miss. Using this little tin bear oil and beeswax pillow ticking. The only thing you gotta be careful about using this bear oil, that stuff is so slippery. Better make sure you got a firm grip on that cock when you pull it back. The other day I was shooting and I went to cock it and my thumb slipped and gun went off pointing straight up in the air. Now I'm saying that because I'm not afraid to admit that I'm human and I screwed up, but I'm glad it didn't happen at a shoot or a woods walk where it could have been a danger being around other people. So make sure that thumb is clean. You got a good grip on that when you cock it back. If you're using, you know, lube like that that's kind of smeary, especially in warmer weather, you know it's gonna be real slippery. Not to nap this flint. Alright, we'll shoot the little dinger and then head in the house. That was about 5 shots. Probably 23 yards or so. About 2 inches by 3 inches. See if I can hit that booger. Swinging. Thought I shot a little low when it went on. Alright, we'll go in and clean the gun. Okay, well we're down here in my basement. Got a slop sink down here and I got range rods for cleaning. I have the whole setup here for cleaning muzzle loaders. In fact, I'll go ahead and give you a closer view. I have a 62 caliber range rod, end on that range rod because it's a longer one for my trade gun. Then I have a 45 And I have a Derlin rod, screwdrivers, a funnel. I have a toothbrush back there and a brass brush. Simple green mixed with water, 50% water, 50% simple green, a container for water, toothpicks, WD-40. I have a bag, Ziploc bag here of t-shirts that I have cut up, Johnston's paste wax, and little pieces of white t-shirt cut up for cleaning out the guns. Okay, so this is the way I do it. I'm not sure if it's right or wrong, but with a long rifle that the barrel's pinned in the stock, first thing you're going to want to do is take the lock out. Take the lock out. And I always just go ahead and take my wooden ramrod out. I'm not sure why I just do it. I don't want it in the way for cleaning. Got the gun all karate from shooting. First thing you'll do is take a strip of a t-shirt and tie that around inside the trigger guard. Make a knot right at the lock mortise. Take the tag in, tuck it up in there, jam it in there so that no water can run down in there across your stock. Now you go ahead and you get a toothpick. Take that toothpick and you jam it in the touch hole. And they're nice and tight. I draw a little warm water. Wouldn't have to be warm, I just make it warm. Funnel. Pour it down there, now I set the gun aside, let it rest. Then I take your lock, a little simple green, water, a toothbrush, scrub that around, get all that underneath the frizzen, in there around the pan, around the flint, under the flint jewels, any place where there's a lot of crud from shooting, black powder residue. And I take a piece of a t-shirt, a lot of that residue is in the, it will lift right off super easy. It's not like you have to scrub, you just use the bristles because it gets down in the crannies that you can't get with your hands very well. I don't have a light on, I guess I should make that a little easier for you to see. So I wipe that whole thing down. Get inside the cock there, rub the flint. Once you pretty well have it dry, I like to use WD-40. Just hit the whole lock. I'm not afraid to leave quite a bit of WD lay on the internal parts, on the tumbler and on the main spring and all that in there. But on the outside there and in your parts, I wipe that down. So now your lock's good to go, all cleaned up. Occasionally, like not very often, I will take my spring vise and my lock vise for my springs, and I'll pull all of them apart and I'll clean the whole lock, take the whole lock apart. But on a normal cleaning, that's more than good. Okay, so now you got that water's been resting in there while you were cleaning the lock. Put your finger over the muzzle, run it back and forth a couple times. Let that run out. Black water. That'll wipe that so that no water can run down around very easy. Then I go ahead and I just do it again, but this time I don't bother letting it sit, just give it another rinse. Now, depending on where you're cleaning, be careful, because when you go to send this jag down with the patch on the end, you're going to put all kinds of pressure to your flash hole, and it's going to shoot all sorts of black gunk from powder residue all over the place. Now, I'm in my basement, and I don't really care, but just for the sake of the video, I'll stick a rag over there. Sometimes I'll put a rag over there just to kind of catch it so it doesn't blow all over the place. Get yourself a little patch. First one I don't even bother making wet. Spin it around a little bit down there by the breech. Now, I mean, it's still very dirty, but if that didn't run that water down, it'd be very, very dirty. That water gets most of that residue out. Then I'll hit one with some simple green and water. Put it down. Now you just repeat this for a little while. I'll do a dry and then a simple green. A dry, a simple green. So, sometimes I'll run it up and down a few times like that. Make sure it kind of scrubs it. It's already getting pretty clean. You're not going to get a patch to go down and come back out and be snow white. It's not going to happen. I mean, you stand here for 3 hours and scrub this thing and probably still get something color on the patch. What you're doing is getting all that crud out of there to the point that it's basically just looks gray from the little bit of residue that's there. I mean, very minimal. So I don't know, what was that, 6 patches maybe? I'll run a dry one down. Now, second to last one I'll take. I'll spray WD-40 on it. Bring that one out. And then the last patch I run dry. That way there's no, whole bunch of WD-40 laying against the barrel in there. Take that off. Use your damp rag and clean that flat off around the flash hole. Any places on the wood where there's some residue, pitch that rag, since that's got moisture on it. Get a new one out. Spray a little WD-40 on it. Wipe that barrel down. I wipe the whole barrel. Sometimes around the lock here, on the wood, whatever. And occasionally, not every time there again, sort of like taking a lock apart, occasionally I'll use that Johnson's paste wax, rub it all over the stock. And there you just, then you reassemble. Good to go. Now, I don't really time it, but I think it probably takes 7 minutes, 10 minutes the most. But I do it every time I'm done shooting. Never let it go for long. Definitely don't let it go overnight. It'll start pitting. So, sometimes I'll take a rag and You know, when shooting, you get black powder residue on your ramrod. I like to wipe it off. It gets a little sticky feeling. So. Ready to go back on the wall. That's all there is to it.